Hello, chess fans. Welcome to another episode of Chess Chat, a program brought to you live from the Rollstone Bank and Trust Studios at Fitchburg Access Television. I am George Marajanian, Program Director of the Wachusett Chess Club at Fitchburg State University. This club, the second oldest chess club in Massachusetts, meets every Wednesday evening from 6:30 to 10:30 in the McKay Complex at the university. And with me for this 214th episode of Chess Chat is our award-winning director, Darren Dame of Fitchburg, recipient of the prestigious Boulder Award, FATV's Boulder Award in 2009, and now in his 20th straight year as director of Chess Chat. And assisting Darren in the control room and also on our set with camera work is fellow resident and longtime Wachusett Chess Club member Brian Bigelow. And sitting across from me is my longtime associate and trusty colleague, my co-host, Dave Kuchar, formerly of Westminster, Massachusetts, but now living in the sweet town of Northampton. And Dave is a very multifaceted guy in the world of chess. In addition to being a very active tournament and match chess player, he is a tournament director, certified by the U.S. Chess Federation. He is the creator of the Wachusett Chess Club website. He is a chess writer. He's the author of the very popular Progressive Chess Tactics. He's also a chess photographer. He's taken many hundreds of chess photos at the Wachusett Chess Club and other chess clubs in the state. So again, I welcome back for this episode of Chess Chat my co-host, Dave Kuchar. Good to see you, Dave. Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, George. You always you build me up too much. But anyway.
Okay, do I make you laugh? No, but anyways, Dave, I always enjoy you
Thank you.
Being my co-host.
Yes.
Now, Dave, 2 episodes ago, we presented to our Chess Chat viewers a preview of the 2026 FIDE Candidates Tournament. Mm-hmm. And that was a tournament that was held that ended in mid-April. It was actually just last month.
Yeah. And
we did a preview, eight players, a double round robin. These are 8 of the top players in the world.
Yeah.
And they were vying in an event, a double round-robin event, 14 rounds, to see who would be the official challenger for a world championship match against the reigning world champion, Grandmaster Gukesh Domarajo, India.
Yep.
Now, I can tell our viewers, I learned today, that the world championship match between the challenger of the winner of the Candidates Tournament and Gukesh Domarajo is going to be played from November 23rd to December 17th, 2026. Mm-hmm. The World Chess Federation, which is more commonly known by its French acronym, FIDE, which we pronounce as FIDE, has not yet determined who is going to host that event. Bids have been sent out that countries or federations or whoever want to bid on it. They have until May 31st to submit their bid. And I, as I pointed to you before we went on the air, that one of the requirements of this bid that FIDE is setting out bids for is that they are requiring a minimum prize fund of $2.5 million as a requirement. And they, in turn, FIDE is going to be taking over a $1 million fee to do this.
That's quite a fee.
That's quite a fee. But let's get back to the Candidates Tournament. We saw that actually end, as I say, mid-April. And we could show a picture, a photo of the winner and one of the high finishers from that tournament. Can we show actually a photo that Darren has? Now, on the left of this photo, you see 20-year-old Javokhir Sindarov of Uzbekistan. He is now shaking the hands of American Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana, who I think is 33 years old. Yeah, he's 33 years old. This is actually a photo taken from what, round 4 of the tournament?
Right, the game we're going to present.
Yes, the game we're going to present a game from the candidates tournament. The game that Sindarov, who won the candidates tournament. In fact, he was the only undefeated player in the tournament. Of the 14 the games he played, 2 games against each of his 7 opponents, he had 6 wins and 8 draws, which gave him a total of 10 points. Okay. Now, Caruana actually finished in 3rd place in this tournament. But he, along with fellow American Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura, were considered the heavy favorites.
The 2 favorites.
And why were they considered the favorites? Because?
Well, they were the 2 highest rated.
They were the 2 highest rated players, yeah. So they were high, one was like high 2700s, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let me point out, I'm going to give actually very quickly what the final standings, because I think I have time to do this before we present the game. As I said, Sindarov won the event, no losses, 6 wins, 8 draws, 10 points. Finishing in 2nd place.
We should also say that was the highest in the modern candidates tournaments. That was the best finish ever.
That was. No one in previous candidates tournament, no one had finished with such a high score like that.
Right.
And by the way, he clinched clinched 1st place in the tournament with 1 round to go.
Yeah.
So he had clinched to be even before the last round was played. He'd won it. Now, the next person, 2nd place, went to a strong player. Oh, by the way, you had given you had actually given the odds of play. Do you remember actually what Sindarov
was the third favorite. That's
he was the 3rd favorite.
That's all I remember.
Right. Okay. But Anish Giri came in 2nd place with 8.5 points. Fabiano again had 4 wins, 7 draws, and 3 losses, and one of them was to Sindarov. Yeah, this is round 4 of the game we're going to present.
And we should probably say too, I mean, some of those losses may have been when he got behind early on.
Yes.
And like we said before, the only place that matters is 1st place.
Yes.
So if you start getting behind, you have to catch up to that 1st place person. So you probably start playing a little more risky.
Yes. Okay.
And he may have lost games just because he was taking more chances than normal.
It stands to reason.
Yeah.
Now, coming in 4th place with 7 points was Wei Yi, Grandmaster Wei Yi of China.
Yeah.
Now, Nakamura, what's very, very disappointing, certainly to American chess fans, is the finish of Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura, who came actually with 6.5 points in 5th place. That is, for Hikaru, that's a disappointment for him to finish in 5th place out of 8 players.
Yeah, because coming in, I can't remember, he and Caruana were both very close to.
But I think Hikaru actually had a higher rating.
Slightly higher.
Than Caruana, yeah. And coming in 6th place was a player from Germany, Matthias Blubaum, who actually had 6 points, had no wins. He got his 6 points by virtue of 12 draws and 2 losses. That's how he got his 6 points. And coming in 7th place was a grandmaster from India, Ramesh Babu Pragyananda. That's quite a mouthful. And he finished also with 6 points, but came in 7th place. And coming in last place was a Russian grandmaster by the name of Andrei Esipenko, who finished with 4.5 points, no wins. He had no wins, had 9 draws and 5 losses. So that's how the 8 players finished. Again, Sindarov coming in clear first, undefeated, the only undefeated player. And we're going to present now to our Chess Chat fans the game that Sindarov won against Fabiano Caruana from round 4.
And we can say that going into this game, they were tied for first, the two of them.
Right,
They both had 2 wins and a draw going into this game.
Right, exactly. All right, so Sindarov had white in the game, right? Okay, so what did Javokhir Sindarov play for first move in the game against Caruana?
So he opens with d4,
Okay, a good opening move.
Good opening move. It's second most common after e4.
Okay. Now, in response to d4, black has a number, actually at least two good choices here.
Yep.
Actually, black could play d5.
Yep.
Yeah. Which actually controls now, stops white from playing the,
e4, yep.
the pawn to e4. Another good move, which also stops white from playing e4, would be developing the knight to f6,
yep.
developing a piece,
yep.
and stopping the advancement of the pawn to e4. What Caruana chose was d5.
Yep.
That was his reply. Okay, what did Sindarov do on his second move? How did he continue?
Yeah, well, I'd say that this is by far the most common move here is just c4.
Now, what is this? What, isn't he offering a pawn here?
It's offering a pawn.
Okay.
So it's called the Queen's Gambit, but
okay,
as we've said before, it's not so much a gambit as like the King's Gambit, because usually white recovers the pawn quickly.
Yeah. Right.
So even though it's called a gambit, it's not a real gambit.
Right. A gambit is actually where you're offering
a pawn that you don't expect to get back.
Right, exactly.
For other compensation. And one of the reasons for playing this now is so that you can bring the knight in behind
it. Yes, behind the c-pawn.
And you're not blocking it like that.
Right.
So now he can play knight to c3 and not worry about blocking that pawn.
Okay, so black now has to make a decision. Does black accept the pawn? Does he accept the gambit by taking the pawn on c4? Or does he decline the gambit? Well, and if he's going to decline it, there are at least two good ways to decline it.
Sure.
Which one way is actually to play this pawn up to c6.
Yep.
That protects the pawn on d5. And also e6 does the same thing, protecting the pawn on d5. What Caruana chose was to play the pawn to e6.
Right.
Now, even though that does decline the gambit, the bad side of this, or the negative side, if there's a negative side, it shuts in this light squared dark bishop, this light squared black bishop. Yeah. So there's a negative side to it. But again, it's very popular though to play this e6. All right. There's now Sindarov's third move. How does he continue?
He just develops his knight on the king's side to f3.
Now, could he have not developed the other knight instead? But
that's slightly more popular.
More popular?
To develop that knight first, but
there's nothing wrong with knight f3.
Nothing wrong with that.
Because it's bringing a piece into play. Yep. At least we have a piece brought into play. Okay. But here is where Caruana, who could have accepted the gambit pawn, on the previous move, now it says, "Oh, I think I'll take the pawn now." Yeah. So the D pawn takes c4. So now we have a Queen's Gambit accepted by Caruana taking that pawn now on c4. All right. So how does Sindarov now continue on his fourth move?
Well, so he plays e3, which is the most popular move in this position. So by doing that, he's now threatening to win the pawn back. But what we had talked a little bit earlier, that it would seem like e4 might be even better. That way you're not blocking in this bishop.
Yes.
But it's not as popular, and we were thinking probably the reason is just that it becomes a target.
Yes. In fact, this knight could come out, possibly.
Yeah.
Right. But as you point out, though, Sindarov played e3, which, as you aptly point out, now shuts in white's dark squared bishop. Yeah.
But this, this position here has been analyzed, for decades. And so it's been determined that that's the better move.
Right. Okay. So here is what Caruana did. He said, okay, he says it's time for me to start developing pieces here. So he plays this knight on g8 to f6. So he plays that. See, if the pawn had been played to e4, he probably could have brought it out and attacked the pawn on e4.
Yep.
But now there's no attacking of any pawn here.
Right.
Okay, it's Sindarov's fifth move. What does he do?
So it's a no-brainer, right? He grabs the pawn and develops the bishop at the same time. So
okay, so he got his pawn back.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. This is what FIDE, that's how his friends and family call him.
Yep.
Yeah. On the fifth move, he plays the pawn on c7 to c5 and attacks the pawn.
Right.
Now, it would be very unwise. A beginner may actually, playing white, it would maybe, there are some beginners who actually would take the pawn, but that's highly not advised.
Yeah.
Because by taking this pawn here, this allows black to take queen takes queen check, forcing the king to take.
Right.
But white now is denied castling.
Can't
castle, and the king is in the
Stuck in
center.
the middle. Yep.
So this would be a very bad move to take the pawn here on c5.
Yep.
All right. So after c5, what did Sindarov do? He's not going to take the pawn.
Yeah, so
he's going to
simply castles.
Yeah. And now he's way ahead in development. He's already got the 2 minor pieces developed. He's already castled, got his king safely put. Yep. And Caruana is behind in development. He's only got 1 piece developed here.
Yep.
So he has to catch up in developing pieces, getting into play. So he now plays knight to c6. From knight b8 to c6 is his move. All right, so that's his move.
So we should point out that there's part of what I printed out was analysis from Rafael
Leitão. Oh yeah, the Brazilian grandmaster.
Yep.
Who is as I pointed to you before we went on the air, he's not only an over the board grandmaster, but he's also a correspondence grandmaster.
Yeah.
And he's a I think a 7-time Brazilian champion.
Yeah.
So one of the strongest players in Brazil. Yeah.
And one of the things he commented was that in this position, rather than developing the knight, the classical move is just a6, threatening to play b5,
attack the bishop.
So,
all right.
So this is not as common as a6.
A6 is more common than knight c6. Okay. So it is now so knight c6 was played. It is now actually Sindarov's 7th move. How does he continue?
Yeah. So there's 2 moves that are played.
Yes.
About the same frequency. So there's just developing the knight.
Good looking move.
To c3.
Yeah.
And the other is queen to e2, which, as you had pointed out earlier, frees up the d1 square for the rook.
All right.
So that is what.
And it's a good move.
Sindarov, yeah.
Right, to vacate the d1 square for the rook to move over to the d file. All right, so after queen 2, so now Caruana plays a6, which he could have played instead of knight c6.
Yep.
So a6. And of course his plan by playing a6 is to carry out the attack on the bishop with b5.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so it is now Sindarov's 8th move. How does he continue?
Now he develops the knight.
Okay. All right, knight c3 is his move. And of course, Caruana continues with his plan of playing the pawn to b5, attacks the bishop, and is going to force that bishop to move. And I only see 2 squares for that bishop to move to. All right.
Yeah, and this actually turns out to be pretty significant because
yes.
the most common move is to bring the bishop back here.
The b3.
That's played more commonly.
Yeah, okay.
But Sindarov brings it to d3.
Okay.
And the thing is that I feel like Caruana probably wasn't ready for that because already right here.
Because the bishop b3 was more commonly played.
So I'm thinking, Caruana probably had an immediate response for that, but he didn't for this. He thought for 12 minutes here.
Really?
And we should say that there are 2 time controls, and the first time control is 40 moves in 2 hours.
Yes.
So you have to play your first 40 moves within 2 hours. And that's going to become a giant factor here because Caruana kept taking big chunks of time to think, and he got into real time trouble. And
so taking 12 minutes on where there's actually only 2 choices, he should not have actually had to consume 12 minutes to figure out whether he should go to b3 or d3.
Yeah, because it's pretty early in the game to start.
Well, it was actually Caruana who was perplexed because he was expecting, was expecting bishop b3.
Right.
But he had to figure out, well, what do I do? Do I do something different now? Differently. Okay. So the bishop went to d3. And so what Caruana did was, now remember, his bishop here on c8 is shut in on this diagonal, but of course he can aptly play it over to b7. And that's his move. Develops the bishop to b7.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Another choice, too, was simply taking.
Yes, he could have taken the pawn on d4. Yes, he could have done that. All right. it is now Sindarov's 10th
Yeah.
move.
And the most common move here is to play rook to d1, but instead he plays a4.
But he has a threat now. By playing the a4, I see the knight and the a4 pawn is attacking this pawn actually twice,
Yep.
where it's only defended once.
Yep.
So, now Caruana has to make a decision. Does he advance the c pawn, the c4, to attack the bishop on d3?
Yep.
Or does he advance the b pawn, the b4, to attack the knight on c3?
Yep.
So he has two choices here. And what he chooses is to advance the b pawn, the b4,
Yep.
and attack the knight on c3.
And again, he
Yep.
took 10 minutes on that move.
Because so he's consuming a lot of time here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be critical because when I had looked at the clock times, Sindarov was playing very quickly, so Sindarov was ready for all of this.
Okay. All right.
Sindarov was not taking up much time
All right.
at all.
All right. So where is Sindarov going to move that knight on move 11 here?
So he puts it on e4, where it's defended by the bishop on
Right.
on
The
d3.
All right. So it's good that bishop is there instead
Yep.
of on b3. All right. So knight e4. All right. So now this is rather interesting. Caruana. Now he's not going to take. I mean, there are some players who, in this position, might be taking the knight on e4.
Yeah.
But actually, how Caruana came out, I think, with a better move by playing knight to a5, because now he has a threat with the knight on a5 to sink into b3 and attack the rook on a1.
Right. And he's got two attackers on,
Yes.
on this knight.
That's right.
So,
So he actually this is a much better move because of
Right.
the double attack on the knight on e4. Yeah. So what is how is Sindarov going to play against knight a5?
okay,
It's
this is interesting again. He plays knight takes f6 check.
right.
Now there's two ways you can show the two ways to recapture.
One way is to take with the queen. Queen takes f6 is one way.
That's one way. Yeah.
Okay.
That way you don't double up your pawns.
But what the other way is to take with the g pawn. G takes the knight on f6, which actually not only doubles the pawn but weakens it. Actually, well, it does actually have. We have now a semi-open file
Right.
here, but so what decision did actually Caruana make as far as recapturing that knight?
Well, he ended up taking with the pawn, but again he
Yes.
took 12 minutes.
Really
So
deciding
on these like four
there's only
moves,
two choices.
yeah. So on these between these four moves, he took over half an hour.
Okay.
So
So he took with the G pawn. G
Right.
takes f6, the pawn knight on f6. All right.
So it means the king is probably going to stay in the center.
Right.
He's probably not going to castle
No.
kingside.
No.
On the other hand,
Yeah.
he can put his rook there and
True.
use
Right.
that to attack. So
All right. It's now Sindarov's 13th move. How does he continue here?
and the commentator said that this was a new move right here.
Oh,
He said,
really? You mean Sindarov's this coming move?
Yes. So he said previously what had been tried was rook to d1. There was one game, he said, from 2007 where rook to d1 was played. But he instead takes the pawn
Okay.
and again,
D takes e5. Yeah.
and again,
Yes.
Caruana now took 18 minutes on this move.
Oh, wow.
So he's
Wow.
using up a ton of time.
Yeah, because, wow. So he's already consumed all this
Yeah.
time? All right.
So after this move, Sindarov had 45 minutes more than Caruana did.
That was the difference in time?
45 minutes, yeah,
Okay.
extra. Yeah.
All right. So what Caruana did here, after spending all this time thinking,
Yeah.
he plays instead of taking bishop takes the pawn, he decided to sink in the b3, knight b3,
Yep.
and attack the rook on a1. All right.
Which the commentator said that this was the critical move and the best move.
That was the best move.
Yeah.
Knight b3 was the
Right.
best. Yeah.
But to get to this position, he's
But he took time.
45 minutes
Oh,
behind.
wow.
So
Okay. Now, there are a number of players who, looking at this position, I know at the club, we showed this at our club, they wouldn't hesitate just to move the rook, to save the rook, maybe over to b1.
Yeah.
They wouldn't bring it awkwardly over to a2, the other square.
Right.
It's where they but But it is now Sindarov's move. Yeah, Sindarov did not move the rook to save that rook. What did he do on move 14 in this position?
Yeah, this is an interesting move.
This is very interesting.
C6.
Yes, he chose instead of he says, hey, I'll leave the rook there, and I will come with c6 and attack your bishop, the bishop on b7.
Right.
Okay. So
which, that's a move that I think 99% of players would not even think about.
But he figured out actually that it is not wise as a position for knight now to take the rook here, because this pawn on c6 will take the bishop, attack the rook here, force that, and also with this bishop gone, this pawn after the rook has to straighten itself, it will also be lost.
Yeah.
So this will win material here.
So that's a nice move.
That's a very nice. C6 I do like. We like C6. It's a very good move. So Caruana takes the pawn on C6.
Yeah.
Bishop takes C6. The pawn on C6. Okay.
Now this is part of the point, I think, is that he plays knight to d4 because now that bishop is there.
Now he's attacking the undefended bishop on c6, right? And he's also attacking both the bishop but also attacking the knight here on b3. All right.
So again here, Caruana takes 16 minutes to come up with this, to make this decision. Because
he has to be perplexed by this by this position.
Yeah, this is very complicated.
Yeah. All right, so what Caruana did was capture the knight on d4. Knight takes d4.
Which is the best move.
Yep. Now, this is according to Raphael? Or is this...
Yeah, I think, he just commented that the alternatives are much worse here.
Okay.
So, again, but the fact that he takes 16 minutes, he's just getting further behind.
Okay, and now it's Sindarov's move. He's actually the only move he has. Yep. Okay. Now, it is now Caruana's move.
Yeah.
What he plays the rook on h8 to g8. Now he gets on the. Now, does he have a threat by playing the rook to g8? What is Caruana's threat?
So he's got that bishop and that rook threatening to take that.
So he's threatening to take rook takes g2 pawn check. Yeah. No, he can't allow. He cannot allow that to happen.
That would be game over.
So now, are there? What are the different ways to stop that threat?
I think we said I guess
he could play f3.
So f3 is a possibility.
F3 is a possibility. Nothing wrong with that.
F3. I guess he could play.
Yeah.
Could he play that? That's a possibility too, I suppose.
Yes, I guess it can. Yeah, I guess it could be. Right.
But I think the best is what he played, which is g3.
Okay, he played g3. That was on move 17.
But we should say that
yes,
the comment the commentator made was that rook to g8, as you're going to see in the video we show.
Yes, we're going to actually at the end of this game, when we finish with the game, we're going to treat our Chess Chat fans to a very interesting press conference where the players are doing an analysis of the game, a quick analysis, but we'll get to that once we get to the end of the game.
And one of the things he comments on that you'll see is that they both players agreed that was a big mistake. Yes. But Stockfish, which is rated like...
What was the rating? What's the rating of Stockfish?
The latest rating of Stockfish is 3930, I think, which is roughly 1,000 points higher than Magnus Carlsen.
No human on the planet could even come close.
So the computer actually said that was the best move.
Really? All right.
So two of the top players in the world thought that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the computer said, no, it wasn't a mistake. It's actually the best move.
All right, so this is Caruana's move, rook g8 on his 16th move. So, rook g8. And we saw g3 is stopping that. All right, so it's now Caruana's 17th move. And what he does, he plays the pawn to f5, which actually stops even the bishop coming here to...
the bishop can...
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a threat, yes. Yeah. Bishop actually is threatening to take... No, f5, it also allows maybe the queen to come over.
Sure.
Yeah, even the h4 is a possibility. Sure, yeah. Oh, yeah, with that threat of going to h3 and a mate threat on g2. Yeah. So, F5 was a very good move by Caruana.
Well, no.
Or is it?
They said they agree it was a mistake, actually.
Oh, really? F5 was a mistake?
So first of all, it took him 17 minutes
Okay.
on that move.
Really?
So things are only getting worse time-wise.
All right.
And the commentator said that...
What did the commentator say?
He said, now White is able to stabilize the position with a significant positional advantage since Black's king
right.
has nowhere to go, and the
Right.
pawn on a6
Yes.
is a clear weakness.
It's a double attack. White has a double attack on this pawn.
And again, I think in the press conference afterwards, they both agreed that that was a mistake.
Okay.
Maybe the most significant thing is
really?
the amount of time that Caruana is taking for all these moves.
All right. So it is now Sindarov's 18th move.
Yeah.
What does he do?
This, I think, is a really nice move, and one that I don't think most players would think of. Bishop
No.
to c4.
Now, what is there a threat here?
Yeah, and the threat is that he could take here.
Bishop takes e6.
Bishop takes.
And on the recapture, F takes e6.
If he recaptures, then it's
Check.
and
And he's going to pick up the rook.
Yeah.
So he gains materially by doing that.
Yes.
So that's the threat. We put the pawn here.
Is this where the queen is?
No, the queen is actually on e2.
On
Yeah,
E2, thank you. Thank you.
So with the bishop c4, the threat is now to take here, and yes, and the pawn, f pawn cannot take back because it'll cost the black the rook. All right. So after bishop c4, what does he have to do? Well, he can't leave this rook here because of the threat of taking it.
Yep.
So Caruana plays the rook up to g4.
Yep.
Again, it's protected by this f pawn.
Yep.
That's why the f pawn is here. So that's what he does. And he also, with the rook on g4, he has a double attack on this pawn, queen and rook attacking the pawn on d4.
Yep.
Okay.
And the commentator
What's the comment? What's the comment?
He said it was played after another long thought,
Oh, wow.
which was 18 minutes now.
Wait a minute.
For
Doesn't
that
he
move.
realize he has to move that rook? And it's very, and it's rather limited as far as
Well,
where.
the other
what are the
choice,
choices?
the better choice, I think, was
Oh, to take there?
queen takes that pawn.
I see. Okay.
And so that's probably what he was trying to decide between that and this.
All right.
And the
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah, the commentator said it was played after another long thought. He says by now Caruana was very low on time.
All right.
With a bad position, his fate was more or less sealed.
All right.
And the clock times right now, Sindarov
Yes.
had 76 minutes for his remaining moves, and Caruana had 16 minutes left.
Really? Wow.
So
Yeah.
Caruana's got to make 22 moves
Yes.
in 16 minutes.
That's a very,
Less than a minute a move.
very little time.
Yeah.
Very little time.
And in such a complex position, because their initial time, they get about 3 minutes a move, right?
Right.
40 moves in 2 hours. They
Right. Right.
So now he's down to less than a minute for 22 more moves,
Okay.
less per move.
Okay. So it is now Sindarov's 19th move, and he realizes, well, wait a minute, I can defend that pawn on d4 now.
Yep.
And what does he do?
And so, yeah, and develop a piece at the same time. So
Right. All right. So he plays bishop,
bishop to
e3.
E3.
Okay.
So we can say, this pawn
Right.
is still hanging. It's got 2 attackers on it.
Yeah, and it looks like that would be a threat now. I mean,
Right,
yeah.
and he would also like to push that pawn.
Oh yes, yes, right. Yeah, that's
and
also a threat.
Open things up in front of the
That's
king.
also a threat. Okay. All right. So what was the move he played? Okay, so it is now it is now Black's Caruana's move, right?
Yeah.
And he plays bishop d5. So he plays bishop d5. Is that correct? Yes.
Yep.
19. Yeah, that's what he does. So yeah. All right. So wait a minute. It is now Sindarov's 20th move. Now, could he have taken this pawn? Why doesn't he take here?
He could have, but
Yeah.
the thing is that pawn's really not going to go. He doesn't have to do it now,
No,
right?
he can hold off.
He can hold off because if he does something else and Black decides to save the pawn that way,
okay.
he's just going to go here,
Ooh.
check.
Oh, and force the king to a very awkward.
Yeah, that's going to be horrible.
That's not, no, yeah.
So
So-
the pawn's not going anywhere. He doesn't have to take it now, and he instead just plays his rook over to c1 to.
So that if actually Black were to take the bishop on c4, he could take back
with the rook
he
or
could
the
take with
queen.
either one.
Yeah.
All right. So it is now Caruana's move. he now decides to develop this dark squared bishop.
Yeah, finally.
Which he could have done early in the game, actually, and then could have castled.
Yeah.
But he chose to do what he did. He played the bishop to e7 now. So that's his move.
Yeah.
Bishop e7 on move 20.
And the significant thing again with the clocks is right now after that move.
Yes.
So he's halfway through to 40 moves, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Halfway.
Sindarov
This is 20. Yeah.
Sindarov
Halfway.
has 67 minutes.
Yes.
Caruana has 6 minutes and 25 seconds.
6 minutes?
So he's got 6 minutes now to make 20 moves.
6 minutes to make 20 moves.
So Caruana's going to have to
wow.
rush.
All right. Absolutely.
When you rush, you make mistakes.
Okay. So Sindarov's move 21. So he said, "Hey, I'm getting the pawn now.
Now I'm going to take it.
Bishop takes a6."
I guess part of the reason would be that if he doesn't take it now and he goes check now, at least he can just slide the king
he can swing over here.
So it's not so bad. So
Yeah, but he decided, "I'm going to take it now."
This is a good time to take
Bishop
it.
takes a6. And so, and of course, the threat is actually, well, again, the bishop could go back and protect this pawn with the check. But it's Caruana's move.
Yeah.
And he plays. He now moves the king. Is there any comment by the commentator?
No, there's
on
not. But
no comment on the by
it seems kind of mysterious. I don't know what.
But what else? Actually, he's rather limited what he can move here.
Limited, but I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I would probably, in desperation, just like start pushing a pawn like that.
Pushing a pawn to the h4. Yeah. But he chose king f8 was his move. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It is now Sindarov's 22nd move. How does he continue?
So he plays bishop to b5.
All right, so there's no check, though.
No check.
But he protects the pawn
right.
on a4.
The commentator said white has an extra pawn, but that's not all.
Right.
He says the black pieces lack coordination.
Okay, right, they are, yeah. All right, here is now Caruana's next move, move 22 for him. Now, with bishop f6, does he have a threat now? I mean, is there a threat here?
Yeah, so he's got two attackers on that pawn.
So he's threatening to win that pawn with the double attack on the d pawn.
Yep.
Okay. So what does Sindarov do about that?
He just
puts
his f rook to d1 to guard it.
So rook fd1 is his move. Okay. So I don't know what Caruana is doing, but he says I'm running out of moves. There's nothing I really can move. Everything is defended here. A pawn is defended. So he plays the king to g7. Right. Yeah. He's just actually just marking time.
Well, yeah, and he has very little time, so he's having to move quickly.
Okay. It is now Sindarov's 24th move. How does he continue?
So now he plays bishop to c6.
Ooh.
So he's attacking the rook and this bishop.
Right.
And the whole point, I think, is to just clear this bishop, get rid of this bishop so he can push the pawn.
Well, certainly Caruana does not want to lose his rook on a8.
Right.
So he plays the rook up to a5. That's his move, rook a5, which also protects if the bishop were to take, at least he could take back with the rook here. So which is what happened. So that happened.
Right.
Bishop takes d5.
Bishop takes d5.
And of course, Caruana is going to take back with the rook.
With the rook.
Not with the pawn. But rook takes, because now, by doing that, he's got now this pawn on d4 is attacked how many times? Actually, 4 times. 4 times.
4 times.
2 rooks, a queen, and the bishop are attacking a pawn on d4, which is only defended twice.
Right.
So there's lots of attack on that pawn.
Right. And Sindarov ignores that and instead plays rook to c5.
Yeah, exactly. Rook c5 is his move, and he's attacking the rook on d5 for one thing. Okay. So Caruana says, no, I'm not going. I don't want to. I'm not going to take here. That would just
give him a pass pawn.
Give a pass pawn here, and the rook would be attacking the queen. This would be not good. So he says, no, I'm going to. So it is now Caruana's decide. I'm going to retreat. Let's bring this rook back to d7, and that's what he did on move 26. All right. Okay, it is now Sindarov's 27th move.
Yeah. And
now
he does push the pawn to d5.
D5.
Threatening to rip open the
absolutely,
position.
Absolutely. So here is where Caruana now captures. The e-pawn takes the D pawn. E takes D5 is what he plays.
So,
Okay.
so hold on to that pawn for a minute, just
Right.
because we'll go
Yeah.
back one.
Yeah, let's go back.
So the commentator does say.
Yeah, what does the commentator say about this?
He said that
it was something better?
He thought this was he said this is the best practical chance.
Okay.
He says white is still easily winning.
Yeah, because there's a threat here. With the rook on e4, isn't the idea is to advance this, to advance the pawn? And there's a pin here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, he can't. No, he can't. What is that? That's the goalpost.
Well, he is. Yeah, he is pinning the bishop. I guess. Well, I don't know.
No.
Anyway, that the.
But the analyst says
he said that was his best practical chance
was to play rook e4.
Rook to e4.
Okay.
He said white would still win, and again, like we said, Caruana is down to very little time. So.
Okay. Instead, so what he did is he took. He takes d5. That was his move.
Yeah.
Okay, it is now Sindarov's 28th move. What does he do?
So now queen f3. So he's hitting this pawn a third time, and he's hitting this pawn.
Okay, so the queen now attacks 2 pawns.
Yeah.
He's threatening to get that pawn on d5 for one thing. Yeah, because this pawn on d5 is attacked 3 times. Two rooks and a queen.
Yep.
Yeah. So with the queen on f3. Caruana must be shaking his head. So he must know he's lost here.
Yeah.
He must know that he's lost in this position.
And he knows he has to move fast.
He has to move fast.
Yeah.
So he plays bishop takes the pawn on b2. B takes b. He says, hey, I take the pawn on b2. Now, if I can get this, I have a passed pawn here. Now, if I can nurse this pawn down to the final rank, but that's asking for too much here.
Yep.
All right, it is now Sindarov's 29th move. What does he do?
So rook on c takes d5.
Okay, and look at the threat now. He's got a double. 2 rooks are attacking. So Caruana has no choice. He has to take. Rook takes d5 is his response. Okay, and how does Sindarov now play?
Takes back with the rook.
And attacks the queen.
Attacks the queen.
Okay, so the queen has to move.
Yeah.
Where can the queen move to with effect here? Does he go over? No, he can't go over here because the rook controls that square. Yeah. Does he go over here? Does he go over here? Maybe pin that rook here. Would that be? That's a possibility, right?
A possibility. Yeah.
That's a possibility because there's no little funny stuff with the rook attack, doing a check on the king and winning the queen.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So the queen is a possibility, but again, Caruana has very little time.
Yeah, yeah.
So in the very little time that he had left.
Oh, you know what? If you did that,
if he brought this,
he could just take there and now he's defending it.
Yeah. So that
didn't work. So what he played was.
So what he did? So he played actually queen. He played the queen. He was over here attacked.
Yeah.
So he plays the queen. So he's now playing queen e8.
Attacking.
He says I want to get rid of this pawn on a4. All right.
Yeah.
So that's what he did. I don't know how much time he spent on it, but he had to move it quickly.
Yeah. At this point, he was just having to blitz out his moves. So.
All right. So now what does Sindarov do?
So now he takes the rook on takes the pawn on f5. Now this rook is
unprotected. The rook on g4 is now unprotected and is threatened. So that rook has to move to save itself, and Caruana now punts and plays the rook back the g6. That's where he plays. Yep. He's got to stay. He has to stay here close for defensive. He's not going to rush. He's not going to move over here over to this side, of the board.
Yep.
He wants to say.
There we go. Okay, so now it's caught up.
All right. Okay. Good.
Now we're caught up. Okay. Yep.
Okay. All right. So after rook g6, what does Sindarov do? Okay.
h4, threatening to.
Yes, he's threatening to advance the pawn to h5 and attack the rook. Yeah. So what does? What Caruana does is play bishop to c3.
Yeah.
To pave the way, possibly, to advance this pawn, clear the way for that b pawn.
There's only outside chance.
To get the b1 and queening. So after bishop c3, how does Sindarov continue?
So this is brutal now.
Wow.
h5, attacking the rook.
Rook has to move to save itself.
To the side.
You're right. All right. So it comes over here. Rook a6. He's attacking the pawn on a4 for one thing. Okay. But he saves his rook by moving it
Right.
from the attack from the pawn on h5.
But now the G file's open, so
Right.
Sindarov plays
Ooh,
queen
check
to G4
time.
check. Yep.
Check time. Okay, so now the king has to move, and the king cannot move to f8. Why not? Why?
Because he's going to get
Oh wow, this is all. He's got
almost over. Yeah.
It's all over. He's going to lose the queen. The queen is the only blocker.
Well, he could put the rook in the way. And then the
Yeah, right.
queen,
And then
he has
right.
to give up
So
everything.
that would be the worst square to go to.
Yep.
The only square he has is king h8. That's king h8 is his move. So how does Sindarov continue on move 35? All right, this is here.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, this is here. Yeah.
So bishop.
So after that check on queen g4, we have check. He blocks. He blocks it.
Well, he checks.
Oh.
And he's.
Oh yeah, he's checking. Bishop d4 check. All right.
And
So.
if black decides, oh, well, I'm just an exchange.
Right.
Then queen's coming here. Check.
You're right. So what he decides, okay, I will. His only move. I mean, really.
Yeah.
f6. Okay. And of course, yeah. All right. So.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good time wise.
Yeah, we are. All right.
You could pause it here, I guess, and see.
Oh yes.
And see what.
Yeah. Let's we have the position on our screen here.
Can we do a shot of the board too?
Yeah. We could do the board and the
So what
position.
what's White's probably?
Yeah, let's give our chess chat the
killer
viewers.
move. Yeah.
What move would they recommend for White in this position?
So depending on where you're watching this and when, you might be able to pause it completely.
Yes, right, exactly.
But anyway, now we'll show the move.
Let's show the move that actually Sindarov played.
Finish the game.
Yeah.
Plays rook to c5.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Because wait, what is he?
Yeah.
By doing that, what does that move threaten?
Well, one thing it threatens is.
Oh wow.
Rook
Threatens here, which would win the queen.
Winning the queen.
It's a skewer. It's an X-ray attack here. Yeah.
But the other thing is now the bishop can come in here. Oh, not yet. Not yet. That's
but
right.
the big threat is actually down here.
Is that?
That's a big threat. Yeah. So that's where Caruana threw the towel.
Caruana resigned in the final clock times.
Yes. What was the?
Sindarov had 42 minutes.
Still had 42 minutes
and Caruana had 48 seconds.
48 seconds. Yeah.
48 seconds to make 4 moves.
All right.
So
he resigned. Now, after this game was played, the players went and there was a press conference, and we're going to go to a very interesting press conference. It was about 8 minutes long, a little more than 8 minutes.
Yep.
So Darren has that clip. We're going to show that right now for our chess chef fans to see this clip.
Welcome to the Round 4 press conference of the FIDE Candidates 2024 at the Cap St. George's Hotel and Resort. I'm joined by Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana and Grandmaster Javokhir Sindarov. The result is 1-0 in favor of Javokhir Sindarov. Let's start with you, Javokhir. No matter what happens in the other games in this round, you are leading the tournament into the rest day. How do you feel?
I think today I played very well game. I was lucky. Before I go to round, I really repeat this line, and I was really lucky. And and after when I got this position and I have a big time advantage, I think I have good chances to win, and probably I played good, but I'm not sure. Maybe I do some mistakes in the middle game, but position is very hard, and I don't know.
Fabiano, what are your immediate thoughts on the game?
Well, I kind of got caught in the opening. I guess rook g8 is a big mistake.
Yeah, rook g8 is a big mistake, because in my file I remember black need to take this pawn on d4.
So rook g8 over here is a big mistake.
Yeah, because now you lose your castle, and I don't know, it should be mistake. But I'm not sure. I really forgot. I know until e takes d4, and computer from the start shows 0.3, something like this.
Okay, so after rook g8...
Maybe I should play queen d5 instead of knight d4. I don't know, maybe it was more practical.
Queen d5, knight c6, queen c6, yeah? And maybe, but...
I was worried about queen d5, f3, but then I can... later I can probably just play knight c5, I guess.
Well, no, I even don't think about this.
Because, okay, knight c6, queen c6, I think it's tactically not... I mean...
yeah, you are so very fast, yeah? So maybe...
yeah, I mean, I get bishop d6 and...
Yeah, probably. Okay, I didn't think about this move completely.
And then we get takes, rook g8, g3.
But now it's just bad.
F5 also probably.
But what can
And here black has a way to keep level-headedness. It's a specific set. It's like 2 moves here.
Queen d5 or
Queen
d4?
takes first.
Yeah, queen takes bishop e3
And
queen
now queen d5.
f3.
f3.
And probably here something like
One move.
Queen e5 or
Queen e5, yeah, or bishop b6. No, bishop no, 2. What bishop d6 like?
One move here. It's
maybe here f5 or what? Yeah.
exactly f5. You're preventing bishop e4.
Yeah, yeah, and bishop e6, bishop c5. Yeah, bishop a6. I mean bishop a6, bishop c5.
I thought about this. I thought it was very dangerous.
Yeah, it looks very dangerous. I want to play here after bishop c5, bishop b5, and he has something like f4 also probably. Okay, no, here f4. No, it's just for interesting. Can you check with computer? Yeah, it's simple. Yeah.
No, it's a complete mess.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, this is like the turning moment of the game. Did you feel this during the game?
Yeah, when I think a lot here before move g3, I think like 26 minutes. Of course I calculate f5 also, and like after bishop c4 black is really very unpleasant, and I was thinking like their best move is they need to go to this very unpleasant endgame, bishop c4, queen d4, bishop e6, queen e4, which
let's show it. It's actually worthwhile. So bishop c4, queen takes, bishop takes, now queen here. Right?
Yeah, which looks really completely unpleasant for black.
Yeah, I thought it's probably losing.
Yeah.
Before bishop c4 and.
Yeah, bishop e4, bishop c4, then pawn goes to b3, rook e1, rook d1, bishop e3. I mean, they don't have a castle, and yeah, they have too many weaknesses. So.
Yeah. So, although it was the best, practically this looks troubling for black. And so now rook g4.
Yeah, bishop e3, bishop d5.
And this was played very well, by the way. Very good accuracy here. These like next few moves.
Really?
Bishop e7.
Bishop a6. Because if I take bishop a6 immediately, I'm really scared from bishop d6. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe then
You're saying here?
Yeah, if I take
here, bishop d6.
Yeah, I was scared from this. Like
some f4.
Yeah, h5 f4 is, and I cannot play bishop c4. Maybe I can play, but then black has some bishop c4, queen c4, f4, which really I don't want to calculate too much. Yeah, f4. Okay, looks very. I mean, maybe just I'm winning, but it looks very, how to say, tricky. So
yeah,
I just want to play more safe.
Keep it as safe as possible.
Yeah.
Don't allow counterplay.
Bishop e7
takes.
No, here I think I'm already very good. Yeah.
Yes. Bishop e5, bishop f6. And when did this go from positional advantage to completely winning, in your opinion?
Yeah. I mean, here I was thinking I'm completely winning. I just need to play. I just don't need to miss some tricky moves. So I will take a time for every move. I think. Yeah. I'll play fast, so 2-3 minutes.
And then I noticed, you took a lot of time here. You had like an hour advantage. You took your time.
Yeah.
And then 45.
This should be losing.
And now it should be game over. Okay. Okay, we're going to open questions to the floor. If you have a question, raise your hand. A mic will be handed to you.
George Park from Chess with Mastrida. My question is for Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana. What do you think is more important, being able to capitalize with clinical accuracy on your opponent's mistakes, or being resilient enough to not collapse in unpleasant positions?
I guess both are important. I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
This is Jafar from Prime Chess. My question is for Sindarov. Uzbekistan has created a lot of top-level players in the last few years in such a short period of time. What is it about the chess culture there that's kind of brought you to the highest level of your career and many others?
Yes, I mean, first of all, in Uzbekistan, I think we organized last few years a lot of big tournaments. let's take a World Rapid and Blitz, Grand Swiss, and also a lot of strong open tournaments, round robins. I think our government, also our president, support chess very good, and that's why we got like these 2-3 years a lot of strong. I mean, we have already we have before also me Yakubayev, but last 2-3 years, how to say. Government is really support us very good, and they give conditions to work with the best coaches, and in my opinion, it helps for us. And yeah, right now we have very strong team for Olympiad.
Congrats.
My question is for Javokhir. If you will play Gukesh this year, do you think you can win?
Okay, I don't wanna answer for this question because tournament's still going. Thank you.
Next question from the floor. Okay, gentlemen, enjoy your rest day.
Well, so that was a video clip from the press conference at the FIDE Candidates Tournament. Javokhir Sindarov against Fabiano Caruana. We want to thank the World Chess Federation, FIDE.com, providing that video to us for this episode of Chess Chat. I want to point out that actually Sindarov actually became one of the youngest grandmasters ever. At the age of 12, the phenomenal age of 12 years, 10 months, and 8 days, he became a grandmaster, which is phenomenal. Because Caruana actually was Karu Nakamura became a grandmaster. I think he was like he was 16. Yeah, that was 8. Yeah, but again, Javokhir Sindarov has a good chance of dethroning Gukesh Domoraju in this World Championship match it starts in November. By the way, that match will be probably the match of the youngest players to play a World Championship. They're both 20 years old when that match starts. So that'll be a match to watch of two 20-year-olds playing a match for the World Championship.
And right now, Sindarov is number 5 in the world.
Yes, his ranking, he's moved up to number 5.
Number 5.
Okay. And the world champion, his rank, I believe, is he 19th?
Number 19.
Number 19th in the world.
He's fallen quite a bit.
So Sindarov actually, based just on ratings, has to be considered a favorite. Although I learned that Gukesh Domoraju, the world champion, defeated recently Sindarov in a blitz tournament, or it was a quick or blitz tournament in Poland. Yeah. So again, that should be a very exciting match. We're looking forward to that. Now, that match, we'll do a preview of that World Championship match actually in November, and then we'll have the results. We won't be able to get the final results until our January 2027 program. Yeah. So I hope our Chess Chat fans enjoyed the game that Dave and I presented to you, and we're going to present our next episode of Chess Chat. We're going to report on the 94th Massachusetts Open, which is the Massachusetts State Championship. So I want all our Chess Chat fans to stay tuned for that episode of Chess Chat.